Hello, Drew, my man. It's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing? Beautiful, my man, and thank you so very
What's
much for
up,
being here. You
Elisha?
see,
I'm
I truly
great. Thanks for
appreciate you.
having me.
And you see, Drew, oftentimes I love to thank my guest for two things. And I do this so often to the point where it has become my hunter. So, firstly, my man, I want to say thank you so very much, Drew, for investing in yourself. You see, you are on this platform right now, Drew, because you did invest it in yourself. And oftentimes, my man, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. You see, some couple of months back, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, Drew, there was this very tall, unattractive mango tree. And I used the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, my man, just recently I was on that same road, and this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree. You see, the mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance, and immediately I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did, and it wowed me because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it. Beautiful green leaves and healthy branches. And not just mangoes now, Drew. I'm talking about ripe mangoes. It was such a lovely experience that day, and I was so excited. Here is my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing Drew that you are today, that alone has made it impossible for me to skip you. And that's why you got the request from me to be on the show because I was attracted to the fruit of all that you're doing, your philosophies, your journey, your work, the impact your work is having, and how you are offering your solutions, my man. These stuff's so beautiful. And just before I sent you that request, I said to myself, I've got to benefit from these beautiful things Jerry's doing. And not only me now, because I don't want to look selfish and even with the audience. And here we are today with the amazing Drew. So thank you so very much for doing that to yourself. And secondly, thank you for saying yes to the invite. Because if you had said nope, there was nothing Elisha could do about it. Thanks so much, my man. Beautiful. Thank you too. So let's do it, my man. You
Thank
see,
you. Thank you.
I
What a great
am
story, dude.
quite excited to have you on the show today for some reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, Drew, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information, and not just knowledge alone, but the application of it. And you see, my man, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking. Why? Because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. And the second reason why I'm excited to have the incredible Drew on the show is for the sake of the audience. You see, my man, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality, eye-opening, and very important information, of which I am totally convinced, my man, that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So for that reason, Drew, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or your professional journey, because right now we are so curious. We want to know how Drew got here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Drew, my man, over to you.
Yeah. All right, but just so I
Right,
understand, Elisha, you're talking about lightness and darkness, right? And to get through the
right,
darkness,
right,
you have to
right.
lean into the lightness, and you have to lean into a different perspective. Correct? I fully believe, and let me premise my story with this. I fully believe everything that happens to you
Oh,
in
yeah.
your lifetime right now, everything that happens for a reason. Whether that is pain, whether happiness, whether that is sadness, everything that happens to you is meant to be a lesson. I'll give you an example here. There are a lot of people in my life who do very, very, very well for themselves. And there is a constant push in our media that we all consume, whether it's on your cell phone or on TV, that you need to be doing more. Media thrives on this idea of you're not where you're supposed to be. Buy my product. You track what I'm saying? You get what I mean? And so then that becomes a constant question and a constant battle internally, even I deal with. But everything happens. I wouldn't be here if not for going through the fire back there. So I started my entire life as a professional child actor working on daytime television. What does that mean? That meant 12-hour days on set, learning how to hit marks, take direction, handle massive rejection, and still deliver when the camera was turned on. If you don't know much about being an actor or being in New York City or Los Angeles as an actor,
Whoa,
you can get
whoa,
rejected because your eyes are too
really?
far apart or your ears are too big. And it has nothing to do with you, but you internalize it. So being able to get past that, built this muscle of what's the word I'm looking for? Strength, and being able to just handle whatever comes my way. But here's the catch. So by day, as a kid, I was 15 years old, working on daytime television. At the exact same time, my mother was going through, at the time, I think she was on surgery number 41. She had 64 over her lifetime. So my childhood was this ping pong between being on TV and being in the hospital room. Like I literally remember I would go to visit my mother, I'd leave the city, jump on a New Jersey Transit train, and go to Philadelphia to go sit on her hospital bed and do my homework. But here's the thing. I think for me, this baked in two core ethos for me. Number one, performance, how to show up under pressure. And number two, the most important thing I teach my kids and my life, everything is perspective. How to not let hard things completely crush you. Now, take that forward where I am right now. I took that pain and that experience and the performance muscle into marketing. I built an ad agency in New York City from scratch, eventually sold it. But what I learned in that is how do you make ideas that land with actual humans, right? Why do people choose Poland spring water over another brand? Why do we like Pepsi versus Coke? So I learned how to communicate, how to build campaigns that not just work, but how to create things that people want to hear and watch and how to entertain. But at the core of all of this, I think you'll like this, Elisha, is that the one thing my mother taught me was this permission to laugh, right? What do I mean by that? I mean, there was a time when we were at our hospital room and she's hooked up to all of these cables. And cables meaning like cords, IVs. And she's so happy
Amazing.
and she's laughing. And Mom, why are you laughing? Are you joking right now? She goes, she looks at the person next to him. She goes, that guy has less than 2 weeks left to live. She goes, there, but by God's grace go I. If you don't laugh, you're going to miss the beauty all around you. And that's what I lead with now. So right now, my work, I am a business coach that focuses on, number one, how to use generative artificial intelligence to get twice the impact in half the time. And number two, how to communicate as a human, because artificial intelligence without the human element doesn't work. It's the human element that allows you to connect with people. It's the human element that allows you to hear the pain, the happiness, the excitement in another person. People do business with people they like, they know, and they trust. And AI right now can't take that from you. So
Amazing. I tell you, my man.
is a merger
Thank you
of those
so
two
very
things.
much for sharing this. You say mastering those difficult situations and, bringing the best out of them. Look at you now. Very amazing. And the beautiful stuff that you're doing. I love that. And your mom, wow. The statement she made, permission to laugh, that's really amazing. And there's a very big lesson in that. Whatever situation it is that you find yourself in, do not make excuses to not laugh. You must always ensure that you laugh, because when you laugh, you find the beauty in things. I
So
got that. That's a beautiful one, my man. As a coach too, top performers,
Hit me, man.
what is the biggest mistake you see high performers make right now?
That's a fantastic question. I think the biggest mistake that I see high performers making right now, whether that is in regardless of your field, it goes back to a core thing, and that's the id versus the ego. What do I mean by that? I mean, when you get a lot of success at a higher level, sometimes what we do is we start to say,
Hmm.
this is all me. I did this. This is me. I did it. I showed up. I did the thing. And when you do that, you lose perspective. Now, I'm not negating the fact that, yes, you did the hard work. You showed up and did the hard work. But if we don't look around and look at the people who gave you a hand to get up all the way to the top, we don't look around and see the things that have worked for you, the things that have helped you get to where you are, the ability, and it's as simple as this. If you look around and you don't see the fact that you have the resources, be them financial, time, personnel, to produce the output that has gotten you where you are, to the high performance place you are, then you're missing a huge part of your own humanity, which means you're missing a chance to connect with someone else. I think, here's an example. I know a high performer who works in real estate, and they do really, really, really well. They sell a lot of homes. They will say that this is me. I did this. And I get that. But the fact is, if they look around and they say, hey, I'm not the best, I do pretty well. Now you have a chance to put a hand out, lift somebody up, and meet them where they are and grow you and grow them. It's about not having that ego, so you're just invested in the other person. So the question you asked is, if artificial intelligence makes you more efficient but more miserable, what was the point? Interesting. All right, so your question, I think it's super interesting. Just to make sure I understand. You said, Drew, you are an AI expert, loosely, but your upcoming book is called Permission to Laugh. On the surface, those two really do seem worlds apart. Why humor? Okay, that's a totally fair question. On the surface, AI and Permission to Laugh sounds like they would literally be on different parts of the bookstore. But for me, they're really the same question. They're really the same, conversation. The way I see this, if AI makes you more efficient but makes you more miserable, what was the point? You see, humor for me, it's a performance enhancer. What's up, brother?
So, how do you make AI simple for overwhelmed entrepreneurs?
How do I make it simple for overwhelmed
Entrepreneur,
entrepreneurs?
yeah.
I can make AI simple in this way. Imagine, just go with me here. Imagine you had access to the smartest person who's read every single book, who's watched every single movie, who's been in every single class, who knows how the markets have done, who knows what the biggest businesses are doing for success, who knows everything about everything. Imagine you had that person sitting with you on your phone all day long. And all you had to do was, like a genie in a lamp, rub the side of the lamp and the genie pops out. That's what generative artificial intelligence is. Anything I think, any problem, question I have, I can ask an AI tool. Any creative idea that I have, I can ask an AI tool. Now, what's great is that this is so applicable to every single business. We used to think you have to hire resources, meaning people. You have to hire people to help you do your job faster. I have to hire someone to help me with finances. I have to hire someone to help me with marketing. I fully believe that you will see businesses that have 2 or 3 humans and then hundreds of swarms of AI agents. That means I can train an AI to be my chief financial officer. I can train an AI to be my performance psychologist. So it looks at everything I'm doing and it helps me make sure that I am on track to deliver what I say I'm going to deliver. So to make this really simple,
Mm.
open up ChatGPT, open up Gemini, open up whatever tool is in front of you, and just say, "Hey, I've never used you before. I do this for a living. How can you help me?" Or actually, if I can give you, can I give you a little exercise that I do with my clients? Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
I yeah. So I say what you're going to do is you're going to use ChatGPT. You're going to pay $20 a month for it because that's the paid version. And for 14 days, every single morning, the first thing you do when you wake up is you turn on the dictation button and you just word vomit everything that comes out of your mouth. You just word vomit. Hey, like for instance, this morning, I woke up at 4 o'clock. I'm really tired. My son didn't sleep last night. I have to go to the gym right now. I had an event that I ran yesterday, went really, really well. And now I have to do all of this. Here's what my day looks like. Here's what I'm thinking about. I'm struggling because I'm tired. I've got this podcast. I've got this. I've got that. I've got this. 14 days. And you see what the AI is going to do is it's going to learn who you are. And then on that 15th day, you're going to ask that AI. I think this is really cool. This is a prompt from someone named Ali Miller, who is one of a big thought leader in AI. And you're going to ask the AI this exact prompt. Do you know what ayahuasca is?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you know it's a drug that makes you lose all your inhibitions, right? So now you're going to ask the AI, you're going to say to it, you just took ayahuasca. I want you to tell me everything that you see about me that I may not see. And what you're going to find is this computer, this machine, a phone is now going to tell you your deepest and darkest psychological and like patterns that hold you back. Dude, it'll blow your mind.
Oh, amazing. I never thought about it that way. Thank you for sharing that, my man. That's a beautiful one. So what about this one?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, what is your $0 framework and what is one quick win someone can get today?
So let's start with the quick win. So the quick win I think you can get from this tool is, let's just say, whether this is business. You said most of your listeners are in the business world.
Yeah, that's right.
As an entrepreneur, the way I see it as you have 1,000 things on your plate and you've decided to go and pave your own way. It's hard. It is not as sexy as TV makes it out to be. It is hard. And a lot of times you're carrying both the emotional, the financial, and the mental burden that comes with being an entrepreneur. Now, for years, if you wanted to go talk to a therapist or a coach, you could do that. You could pay money and you could go sit with a therapist. You could use things like Headspace and talk to someone online. But now I can have that same conversation inside of ChatGPT. Now, I want to give a caveat. I am not saying that ChatGPT or any of these large language models are certified therapists. Not at all. I am saying, though, that if you go inside one of these tools and you talk about your fears, frustrations, wants, aspirations, it's going to be a sounding board so that you can see, hey, here's some of my cognitive distortions. Here are some of the things I may be struggling with that I'm not even understanding. And it just becomes a place for you to find a voice, to find an ear that listens. That's number one. That's a quick win. So the quick win is today. What's the number one issue you have in your business right now? What's the number one issue that you have in your business? And on the other side, what's the number one thing that if you did it, you would double your revenue in 2026? So what's the issue you have? What's the one thing if you learn to do, you would double your revenue? Think about that. Once you have an answer, I want you to take it into one of these large language models. And you're going to tell it, hey, this is the issue I have right now. But if I could just learn to do this, if I could just learn marketing, if I could just learn customer service, if I could just learn how to produce content, if I could just learn how to use AI, if I could just learn how to have hard conversations with my spouse, if I could just learn how to spend more time with my kids, whatever it is, then I would double my revenue in 2026. You're going to say that, and you're going to say, help me get there. That's the first quick win. Now, my $0 framework looks like this. How can you leverage and stack different artificial intelligence tools without adding any more people to your business? That's the $0 part. How can I use things like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, something called Higgs Field? How can I use something called Kling? These are all different AI models and tools. And how can I lever them on top of each other to do the work that would take me hours to do, that I would hire someone to do? Let me give you an example. A lot of entrepreneurs that work, let's just say, in the retail business, or take it QSR, quick service restaurants, or restaurants and hospitality, you have to get reviews from clients, reviews from customers. If you're in a very high end luxury hotel or you're in a higher luxury product or service, you have to get a review. The hardest thing to do is to actually ask for that review. There are companies out there, in my opinion, that will go out and try to get you the reviews very quickly. Sometimes they work. But if we niche down and say, hey, you are a luxury real estate agent, you just sold a $4 million house, you need a review. Well, you can use an AI tool to create a site that collects the review, that actually writes the review that is SEO optimized, search engine optimized, to show up in generative search. That means the site you build with AI will write the review to give your client. And when they write that review, it is optimized to show up when someone types in best professional near me into ChatGPT. There's an AI tool that can build that for you in a matter of minutes. That allows you to not have to add any time, add any money, $0 added to your business. But now I have a tool that'll go out there and collect reviews for me, which could double or triple the word of mouth about me and my business. It could double or triple my revenues because more people know about me. You see, when we use these tools in the right way, we're not
Hmm.
killing people. There's $0 added to your expense, but you're doubling your output.
Amazing, my man. This is really helpful and very, very insightful. This is so important to know, I tell you. Thank you for sharing this stuff, and I'm gonna take that as a final thought. So for folks who would like to reach out to you, Drew, learn more about the wonderful stuff you're doing or be a part of the beautiful stuff you're building, or they require your services or programs, or they've got questions, how can that be possible?
Awesome. Elisha, I've got two things for you. And thank you again for having me on. I really feel like this conversation and just talking to you has come from a very heart centered place, which is something that we don't see a lot in the media world, or especially in the entrepreneurial world. So thank you for that. For me, you can find me on Instagram. That's the quickest way to get a hold of me. My Instagram is just the Drew Thompson. Across all platforms, it's just the Drew Thompson. If you're interested in going and learning more about how to use these tools, how to use ChatGPT, how to use any of these tools, I have a free community on School, SKOOL. The community is called the AI Revenue Lab. So if you just type in AI Revenue Lab at School, I think it's school.com/AI Revenue Lab, and you can find my free school. It is free. Every day in there, we post prompts that you can use in your business. We post tutorials on how to use these tools so you can go through and actually use them quickly. A lot of the time, it's me. I try and go a little slower. So I walk you through how to do something step by step. You also meet, there's a community of entrepreneurs in there that are very vocal and that love to support and collaborate over compete. So that is school.com AI Revenue Lab.
Awesome, my man. So that's gonna be the end of the show, Drew. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing this beautiful stuff with us. It means a whole lot, my man. Thank you.
Elijah, thank you for having me.